Giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakwadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, and bishops of Great Millstone, as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings unto the 144,000, as well as the rest of the elect. This is Brother Taza Pie here with another lunch special, and today we'll be serving up a little societal collapse, all right, as it pertains to Babylon, better known as America. All right, and we're going to start here from the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 21. It says, "Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and thou shalt make thyself naked." All right, and this is a warning, a strict prophecy, all right, strict prophetic warning unto the Edomites, all right? And it's telling them that that cup is coming to them, all right? Let me see if I can find. I think that's in Jeremiah 51. So they're not, okay. Let me try this. Guess let me take that out. Okay, the day of the Lord's vengeance. Let me try this. All right, so we'll go to Revelation chapter 14, verse 10. And it says here, all right, we're going to start at verse 9. This is Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. It says, "And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or his hand," this is the mark of the beast, all right, which the apostles, bishops, prophets, and on down the rank told you was the microchip, which that's what the mark of the beast is, a microchip which is going to run right in line with this technocracy that's being put in place right up under all of our noses. But as the scriptures say, that day of the Lord is not going to overtake us as a thief, because the men of the Lord are watching and praying, all right? And as the scriptures say, all right, we're not ignorant of his devices, all right? And so it says, okay, verse 10, "The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation." All right? This is the same cup that every Edomite is going to drink out of, all right? And that's regardless if they took the mark or not. So, to quote Apostle Tahar from years back, you know, you devils can get as many chips as you want, all right? I mean, y'all the one presenting it, or your people presenting it, so y'all go ahead and chip it up. But for you Negroes, you Latinos, and you Native Americans, all right, this is not our rest. So it's time to come out of this comfort mindset and this having it easy and trying to make it in Babylon. And Babylon is a burning house. You see it's a burning house. But our people, just as they wanted to go back to Egypt after we had already left, Jake don't want to work. for his own. Now, let me put it this way, because that ain't true. Niggas don't want to work for their own. Niggas want ready-made shit. What they call it, the microwave shit. The ready-made, instant. They want an instant kingdom. Even you talk about niggas like Nate. Oh, we just gonna stroll into the kingdom. It ain't gonna be no Jacob's trouble. We just gonna skip to the kingdom. That ready-made bullshit. That ain't what the scripture says. All right? And you got Jake who don't hold these quote-unquote teachers and leaders among Israel. They will not hold them accountable and just go along to get along. And that's going to be your very own destruction. Going along to get along. Now's the time to develop a mind, all right, to think for yourself. All right, because when you in Jacob's trouble, you going to have Bishop Nate, you know, we ain't going to have the apostles. That's what the famine of the word is talking, the famine of hearing the word is talking about. You won't have a word from the prophets, not even the false prophets. You're going to be like Book of Eli. You better know it for yourself. All right? Because it's those who walk by it that's going to have the best chance of making it up out of here. All right? But this is the cup of the Most High's indignation, where the the same drink, this is verse 10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. So he didn't got raw, uncut, unfiltered, just wrath in a cup, and you got a picture that just wrath in a cup. And he gonna shove it down the throat of these Edomites and the rest of these heathens and you wicked 2/3 Israelites. All right? The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, which is poured out without mixture. All right? This is straight, no cut, no chaser. It says, yeah, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone, in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. All right, so the Lord and his angels are going to be right there looking at you. So that's the cup. Going back, Lamentations 4:21, which says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup. Now you know what that cup is. All right. The cup of the wrath. All right. Well, the cup of the wrath of the Most High. The cup of his indignation, which is righteous fury. Righteous, furious anger. That's what the Lord is coming with. All right. Righteous, furious anger. And he got every right to be as furious as he want to be. And I'll be glad to see that day. All right. And this is what it's saying to Esau. Right. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shall make thyself naked. And it's the time. All right. So this is why the Epstein thing is coming out. All right. You got some people say as a blackmail tactic. All right. To get Trump to go along with this third woe, which that's good. That's good. I mean, if it is, if it ain't, I just have to take that with a grain of salt, because, you know, it's a lot of secrecy around these files, all right, because of the wicked nature, the the deplorable. The, for those of you who know the scripture, when the Lord said to get rid of them Canaanites, and in the Apocrypha it talks about the odious works of witchcraft. That's everything that you see in here. And Babylon is modern day Canaan, the land of Canaan. It's another land of Canaan. All right, ancient maps refer to America as Canaan. All right, but that the same works are here. So now you know when you read that we was to get rid of them for their odious works of witchcraft. Esau picked up that mantle and ran with it, them same deities, all right? Baal, Astaroth, all right? Going back to ancient Canaan, and then they got all the deities of Greece, the deities of Rome, the deities of all the Medo-Persian Empire. All right, definitely the deities of Babylon, Marduk and all the rest. Whatever else they had, Dagon and all of them, that's here. And these Edomites are invoking these demons, and you can see them. Well, their works, you probably can't see them. Some people probably can, but more likely you won't see them literally, but their works, those odious works of witchcraft, are definitely in the earth. All right. What you think is behind this, the running of the children? What you think is behind that? All right. Most of that is for the appeasement of who is that? Moloch. Yeah, run your children to the fire unto Moloch, because the Israelites was doing that. But right, this still goes on. All right, and a lot of what's coming out with the Epstein list is centered around that. All right, deity appeasement, and it's in the scripture, not by those words, but by different words. All right. Let's see, and Lord willing, I'll get to that. Let me read verse 22. Lamentations 4:22. It says, "The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity." We are Zion, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Y'all make up Zion. Zion comes from the Hebrew word to Zion. To Zion means monument. All right, because the children of Israel, were created and put on this earth as a monument, a reminder, a remembrance of the Most High. All right, by being in his image, the image of law and structure, law and order. That's why he gave us as a nation his law. And we looked at it with disdain, but he gave it to us in love. That was love. That was an act of love. And the nigga looked at it as, they looked at the law with disdain. With you got Jake that loathed the law of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. They loathed it. Because at the end of the day, a nigga just wants to be a nigga. Cyndi Lauper said girls just want to have fun. Well, niggas just want to be niggas. All right? So, right. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion, us Israelites. Us Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans predominantly. And it says he will no more carry thee away into captivity. This is our very last time in captivity. Every nation under the sun got a piece of our brown ashes. Brown, yellow, red, whatever. All right. White. You got some so-called white Israelites as well. Most High got us all. He didn't care what you look like, where you was, what side of the world. Your ass was in captivity or serving some Edomites in some capacity. We all done it. All right. You say, "Oh, my granddaddy was free. He didn't come over there, but your ass in captivity." I can't speak on, what took place in the past, but you on this earth today, you serving Esau. Proof of that, this MOTB. I don't need to argue with nobody. When this MOTB come, if you really got it going on like that, you can say, fuck that MOTB. If you really rolling like that. But because it's only that's like going back to Apostle Tahar. That's the Most High's mark. All right. So the Most High set up a left hand mark, the MOTB, and he set up a right hand mark. And that's the Thawah, Ezekiel 9. From the 4th chapter down to like 6 or 7. All right, speaks about setting a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations. All right. And I'm going to go to that. And just right there so we can get a good look at this. Because, right, the Most High got the left-hand mark, MOTB, but then he got the right-hand mark for salvation. See, the left-hand mark is for condemnation, which is the mark of the beast. The right-hand mark will only be extended unto the children of Israel. Not all the Israelites will take it or have it, but it's extended only to them through grace. And that's the mark of salvation. Thawah in the Hebrew, meaning to make exempt from judgment. And here we are, Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 4. It says, "And the Lord said unto him, the angel, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem," which is speaking about the people. All right, people make up cities. It's not just geographical. People are cities. All right. "Through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry, for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof." Now, when you read Revelation 14, let's look at Revelation 14. And it's in verse 1. I look past verse 1, looking down. This is Revelation 14 and 1. It says, "And I looked, and lo, a lamb." This lamb is Yahushua, all right? But it says, "A lamb stood on the Mount Zion," all right? Right, he's over the nation of Israel, all right? Zion are the righteous Israelites. The Israelites in their right mind, all right? Because to be a monument of the Most High, you got to be in your right mind. You can't be a reprobate. All right? So Zion are the men that are waking up, preparing themselves. Okay? Not all Israel is of Israel. So it says, "And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, all right? The 144, 144,000, having his father's name, meaning the lamb's father, having Yahushua's father's name written in their forehead." So that excludes all the IUIC because they say they don't know the name. So you're not in you're not in Revelation 14. So if I'm under IUIC and I see this video, I would consider getting with GMS, because we never made no bones about what the name was. We never doubted it. We never debated it. We know Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai is it. And there's never been nothing else. All right. Now it's saying the 144,000 is going to have his father's name written in their foreheads. Why? That's a part of the why. The name is a part of the why. The mark. That's a major part. And it's not just Yahweh, the Father, but Yahweh Bahasham in the name, Yahweh Shai. The Lamb. The Lamb's name is Yahweh Shai. His Father's name is Yahweh. Those names are detrimental or pertinent to your salvation. All right. Why is it written in their foreheads? Because it's a part of that, the why. All right. Back in Ezekiel 9:4, and the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry, for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. All right. All of the children running, just policies, ridiculous policies coming out in draconian fashion, all right, criminalizing everyone. Now here it is, you've been paying taxes your whole blessed life, all right? You've been paying taxes, following all these arbitrary bullshit-ass rules that they make up as we go along. They just make it up. And you follow it, and now here it is. Now you got to prove all this. All of this is to vilify, demonize I'm going to say you Mark Mains, all right? But so you can understand it. You law-abiding citizens, all right? All of y'all should feel like you're being boxed in, trapped in forced into a corner, because you are. You should feel like that. You should feel like the walls are closing in around you, because they are. All right? And with all the demented, odious, perverted, just diabolically wicked acts that they do, they won't shake you down for ID. They'll show your papers. I think I've seen this somewhere before. Oh yeah, that was in Nazi Germany. Papers, please. And I knew that was coming, but I didn't know how they was gonna do it. It's like I just couldn't see the people falling for it. But here we are, and they fell for it. So ICE is deboing people about, do you belong here? Are you a citizen? And all of this. Why these people and everybody, up in arms about the Epstein list. But shit, nobody, what about the Weinstein list? You can't forget about the Weinstein list. All this is tied hand in hand. All of this, all right, the collapse of America, the decline of the economy, the rise in gold and silver, it's all connected. These things are not separate from one another. These are all wheels in the same machine turning together. All right? and you can see the intricacy of that machine, then you know where this is going. And here's the good part. You don't have to, spend hours to figure it out. Oh, the prophets already, we've been told you. We've been told you. The legwork is done because we're here. The prophets are being vindicated now. This is the era of our vindication, but this is a dangerous part because we was right. Now we on the radar of the enemies. Well, I mean, we've been on their radar. But now that the things that we've been saying are coming to pass, we're that much more dangerous. Because they could just call us crazy, which they did. Oh, the MOTB ain't no microchip. Them niggas, what y'all talking about? Y'all stupid. They don't make no goddamn sense, a microchip. Now well, I didn't say it was stupid. I said it could be. It was possibly a possibility. And the Lord said that because we speak his word, he was going to justify us. And we in the season of justification because we spoke his word. And everybody that lied is on their heels, backtracking, working damage control because you lied. All right. So I'm going to get into some of this Epstein. You going to make it today. No, I don't want that. I'm going to read this, though, before I get up out of here. In this 2 Ezra 7 and 6, it says, there is also another thing. A city is builded, all right, and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall. All right. Now, this city is the kingdom. This narrow place is where we are now. We're in this narrow place. For those of us walking this tightrope of truth, all right, we've been in the narrow. But now all the world is being forced into that narrow as well. All the world is being forced into that. And again, it's going to come down to 2 marks for everybody. And let me tell you this. If you don't have the Thawa, you getting the MOTB. For the most part. There's always something that slipped through the cracks or something like that. But they're, insignificant. It'll be an insignificant number of people that just will die. Some people say, you just got to kill me. And they ain't going to take it. It's going to be some of those. But for the most part, the world is going to take that MOTB, the left-handed mark. All right? So the whole world is forced into that narrow now. All right? Those of us who've been applying sincerity, honest effort and diligence in this truth. It's going to be just like the Romans, the practice for war with, over heavy equipment. So that when they wield the sword, it's light to them, and they quick and nimble with the sword as they practice with big ass staffs. So I'm trying to paint a picture. And that's us at Great Millstone. We've been walking this tightrope. So now that we're in Jacob's trouble, we just have to stay the course. We don't have to switch up. We don't have to do anything different. We just keep walking the walk. And Satan's going to throw some things in there, but keep doing what you've been doing. What's been working. And if things ain't been working for you, then that's, you have to be the judge of that in examining yourself. And Lord we'll get into that tomorrow. But yeah, I'm going to finish this. 2nd Ezra 7:7. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water. All right. So if you can imagine just walking down this narrow path, all right, you got a deep water on the left, and on the right it's a burning fire, you know. And if you lose your balance to either side, one you'll drown, the other you'll burn up. As the apostles say, that fire represents these trials. You can't let these trials get you caught up, you know, to where they consume you and take you out. And the deep water of these philosophies, you can't get caught up in these worldly, wayward philosophies and get caught up and let that take you out. You got to stay on that straight and narrow, all right? And yeah, the enemy is going to shake up the path a little bit. They're going to yell and scream at you, try to throw your focus off. But we have to stay fixed, all right? Keep our eye on the sparrow, as they used to say, all right? So we're going to hold it right there till tomorrow, Lord will. Come back and we'll finish this lesson if the Lord will. All right. So until then, y'all stay up. Much love and shalom.